Here's a complete guide on how to complete the Shadows Veil Easter egg on Black Ops 6 Zombie. This could be done in a squad or solo, and I will try to make this very comprehensive as possible so you can complete all the steps on the first try. Before we get into this video, please like and subscribe to the channel for more content. First, we're going to start off with the ASG-89 shotgun. Yes, and you will need these attachments to make it much easier on you. So please do exactly how I did it. And if you don't know, you definitely need Dragon Breath as a mod on there. You also need Eat the Sprout to complete this as very efficient as possible, and very efficient in the most efficient way, you know. So like I said, and the gobble gums really doesn't matter. You can use whatever gobble gums you got. I would try to use Perkaholics or whatever you can use, whatever that you got. Please use it, put it on. I really didn't need these gobble gums to complete it, but like I said, you may use gobble gums to complete this, and I would go through a lot of different variants, a lot of different combinations. But the first thing we want to do when we load in, we want to turn on the rampage so we can get through 6 rounds fast. You want to come back over here to get this tomahawk. You're going to need these tomahawks. So go back and pause. Then we're going to go in the building, come into this library. Up here, up the steps is the first thing we're going to get, which is the fuse. The zombie will always be laying right there to get that fuse. And then after we get the fuse, we're going to come right up here, back up the steps, through these doors, near the PhD. Open this door. You're going to hit the left, and you see this computer right here. We're going to destroy this computer. It's going to drop a circuit board. We're going to use that circuit board for a lot of different things. And then we're going to get another tomahawk, which is right behind the PhD. We're going to come to the elevator, and we're going to hold square to interact with it. Once you interact with it, you're going to come back, hit this elevator. A lot of zombies are going to spawn. Run through these zombies, kill them all most efficient way as possible. And you want to come back up to this elevator, press square or whatever you want. If it's Xbox, then it's X. Gonna interact with it. We're gonna come in here and we're gonna get the third tomahawk, and we can pack a punch our guns. This is, you know, quick way to pack a punch through this. And we're gonna come over here and we're gonna look for a letter. Our letter is A. Your letter may be different depending on your game. For me, it is A. We're going to come through here, through the service tunnel. We're going to go to the valves, and we're going to get our tomahawks. This is what our tomahawk is used for. We're going to hit the first valve right in the middle to turn it on. Hit that one. Boom. We're going to hit our letter that the valve telling us, which is A. You see, I missed it. You hit it again until the knob start turning. The valve start turning. Once the valve start turning, we come back out here, and then we're going to destroy this with a Semtex or any explosive that you can use. Once you use that on there, we're going to pick up the first canister. Pick our first canister. We're going to stand here to round 10 until we see the lab technician. This must be down here for round 10. You must. He always spawns down here for round 10. Once you do that, kill him. He's going to drop a floppy disk. You pick up that floppy disk and you take it back upstairs near the room next, the library room next to the dinosaur, of course. And you're gonna go way back up here, all the way through here, all the way through these doors. You're gonna come right here, and you see this computer. You're gonna interact with it by pressing square. You're on PlayStation, Xbox. Then you're gonna do that until this paper start printing off. When this paper start printing off, you're gonna interact with it again, and you're gonna get a code. Mine is Yeet, it's crab, moth, and it's, you know, that's the combination of words you're gonna get. You're gonna come back up here where PhD at, and you're gonna figure out the code. The code, the letters is grouped in a certain amount of letters. It's the number that you're gonna get. So if it's N5, if you got M in 5, then it's gonna be M. Mine is different, so I'm gonna come over here and I'm gonna put the code in that I got from the board. Once I do that, I'm gonna put it in. We're gonna have him. Gotta have him ready. We gotta take him out. We must take this zombie out. He's gonna drop a severed arm. We need that severed arm to complete. And then we also want to get this LT-53 bomb. We get that bomb. We go right back in here to the armory. When you go to armory, you come right here to this door. Interact with it. Once you interact with the door, you gonna come right here with this little key. Interact with that, and the arm is gonna appear. That's how we're gonna get our Mark II ray gun.
You now hold must
That's really the main first step. We really did part one. Really, so many steps to this. And once we do this, we're gonna come up here. You see these up here? We're gonna try to destroy them, and they're gonna have another canister. Destroy this, and the canister will drop. You know, it's different depending on your game. We're gonna come here, right here, by the double tap and drop the LT53 bomb. And with that, you gotta drop it over the hole. We're gonna pick up the canister. Once we're done with the canister, we can start looking for the seeds. You see these seeds? You can use the explosive ammunition or the ray gun to do it. Do not use anything else other than anything that's explosive or the ray gun. We're gonna look around the map to collect our seed. It spawns differently for everybody, and is random. As you see, mine is up here. Sometimes it'll be different for different people. Found another one. This is our last and our fourth one. Once we get our last and fourth seed, we're gonna get the reflectors. The reflectors is located right here. The first one is by self-revive. I mean quick revive, my bad. And you're gonna come back up here by PhD and collect the other reflector. We're gonna go to those fountains and just interact with it. Once you do that, we're going to try to do our next step is to find the essence bomb. The essence bomb is located in a white crate. You want to shoot this white crate as much as possible. Sorry for the, and just stay with me, and you can figure out where they all spawn. It's definitely spawn randomly, and yours can be located in a random spot that may not be how mine is. But once you figure it out, you're gonna come here, and this is what the essence bomb look like. We collect the essence bomb, and then we start doing our canisters. The first one we're gonna do is the blue canister. It's the abomination. It's the one that I love doing first. It's pretty easy to me. Once the abomination start, they're gonna shine these rays. Let these rays hit these rocks. It's 3 rocks that needs to be hit. Once the abomination locked on the 3 rocks and they turn blue, you gotta wait for him to charge the rocks. So stay behind the rock so he can charge. Once he charge up the rocks will go up in the sky just like that. And we're gonna do that for all 3 of the small rocks, not the big rocks, the small ones. Keep that in mind. It's not the big ones. And again, we're gonna keep moving around. We're gonna circle around, let it charge up. As you see, it charges up. One goes in the air. Now we start the process. Once we start this process, we're gonna see all the vermins. All the vermins, or the vermins, however you say it, is gonna spawn and try to stop this from happening. You got a time limit. Kill all the vermins, stop them from getting into the center. Once we stop them from getting to the center, we have completed the abomination for the blue canister. We come over here, we collect it. Next, we're gonna do the yellow canister, which is planting the seeds. We gotta plant the seeds in here and protect them. If we don't protect them, we're gonna have to do it all over again. So you come over here, you plant the seeds in all 4 of these locations, and that's literally near quick revive. And like I said, it could be a tedious process, but we got to go through these process. Use the ether sprout as much as possible. If you have idle eyes, you could use that too. Once we're done, we're going to collect the toxic canister. Once we collect the toxic canister, we're going to start from the beginning of the map, which is where we spawned at, and we're going to craft the toxic canister by coming all the way back here. Put it in there, insert it, interact with it, hold interaction, boom. Now we got the canister, the toxic canister for our ray gun. We're gonna come back into the library room, interact with that computer, and we have to kill zombies in a certain amount of time span for this to work. You have to only use the ray gun for this. Once we have done these, we can come here, and down here where I'm at, you can get a power up to do the next step. So we're gonna come here, shoot right under here. This is very little hidden part. Once we get that, we're gonna come here and we're gonna find all these parts that are invincible that we can't see. So we need ether sprout. We're gonna come right here by the bar, find the next one by the library room, could be right there. Another one. We're gonna also look in the fireplaces. You need to look in the fireplaces. One could be right here on the sofa, but it's not there for me. We're gonna find the last one, which is 3 parts, which is the ledger. We're gonna find that part. Once we find that part, we're gonna come back to the library, and we're gonna interact with these books that's glowing. It's left, right, and middle. Either way, right, left, or middle. We're gonna do it that type of way to make sure the middle one is always the last one, and that door will open. Once that door opens, we're gonna go inside of here and collect the nuclear plant. Once we collect that, we can hop over here back into this yellow portal and start the one of 3 challenges for the ray gun, which is this is the toxic canister. So you need to use the ray gun for this. The ray gun breaks the shield. No other gun breaks the shield. So you need a ray gun to complete this task. I mean, this objective, however you want to say it. You need the ray gun to break that shield. You can have your teammates there to shoot once you have broken the shield. Once we have broken the shield, we're going to head back to the table and collect that objective. Okay, now we on a blue one. We're going to come to the armory and do the blue canister by switching our ray gun into the blue. We're going to come right here to get that lamp fixture. We need that lamp fixture. It's hidden. You need to see it. Go back and pause it to see where it's at. Now we're going to need the bell. We need the bell by coming interact with this wall over here. Keep moving around until you be able to grab it. Once we grab it, we're going to come here and we're going to put the lamp fixture on the wall. As you see that light flash, we're going to do in the same order. It flashed once, we're going to hit it once. Now do left, right. That time it did left, right. So we're going to go over there. We're going to hit left. Then we're going to hit right. Boom. Now you see that? Now I say left, right, left again. Now you see that? Now we go back to the wall and go left, right, and left again. Then that door will open. When that door open and we got the blue ray gun, we're going to go down the steps. And we're going to start this objective by coming here to the computer and interact with it. It's the same thing as the yellow canister. We need to kill a zombie in a certain amount of time to complete this task. It's not that hard. It's very simple, but you have to use the ray gun. You cannot use nothing else but the ray gun. So please use your ray gun and make sure you have ammo before you start this because it's not going to work. Once we complete that, we're going to head back up the steps. And we're going to get brain rot. My bad. I call it dead rot, but it's brain rot. We're going to collect brain rot so we can turn a zombie into a friend. When we turn a zombie into a friend, we're going to head back up the steps to the bar. We're going to place that bell down. When you have the zombie that's brain rot, you want to hit the bell like my teammate did. He hit the bell, the zombie jumped over, and it's going to serve us a drink. We sit here and we wait. And it's going to drop that little piece right there. We click it. Once we click that and grab it, we head back down to the blue room. Down the steps we go. Jump into the blue portal. Boom. And then to this table, we drop it just like how we did for the toxic canister. Now, it's the same thing as the toxic canister with the blue ray gun. You have to use the ray gun to break the shield. Nothing else would break the shield. Now, if you're doing this with teammates, and in this video, well, in this section of the video, I didn't do it with teammates. I did it by myself, so it's a little bit of challenging. Please try to move around if you're doing it by yourself. Don't stay in the same spot. If you got Eat the Sprout, that's fantastic. It'll work. But if you do have teammates, whoever using the ray gun, because you need the ray gun. You can't do this without the ray gun. You cannot do these steps without the ray gun. And please have ammo. You need ammo. If you don't have ammo, you're going to keep redoing it until you get it. So if you are having teammates with you, it's much, much easier because once you have break the shield, he's vulnerable and your teammates can use whatever they got to use, whatever ammunition or weapon to take this out. While the shield is no longer there. As you see, the shield comes off and it turns back on, so you need to use the ray gun to break the shield. As you see right there. Once we have completed this, we're going to go back to the table like with the yellow canister, the toxic canister, and collect this piece. Once we collect this piece, we're going to head back upstairs. We're going to go all the way here, and we're going to place that essence bomb I had you guys collect earlier. And this is for the purple canister. And the first thing we're going to do, since we have those reflectives, remember, we need those reflectives. We're going to drop those reflectives, one right there, and we're going to find another stand. Where's the other stand? Let's look around, and we found it right here. Once we have placed our reflectors, we're going to go over here and place the canister in here. Boom. Once we start that, those rays is going to be lined up on a statue, which look like a zombie. You're going to come to this crystal. We're going to hit the crystal. You're going to see, once you hit the crystal, it's going to start doing all that little energy, start traveling. Then you're going to have this elite zombie spawn. Once you take out that elite zombie, you're going to do the same thing by coming back over to the first reflective and hitting it one time. It's going to point to that room upstairs. You go up the steps right? Well, first, before we do that, we're going to collect the second reflectors before we go up the steps. So we need to find that reflectors. Here you go, right here. We need to go back up that steps where that room is pointing or shining with the light. We go up here, we place the reflectors, and you hit it one time. Once we hit it one time, it's going to be placed on a zombie. Come here, and you're going to hit the crystal again. And it should be pointing on the statue of a elite. Once that happens, you do the same thing again. So that's 2 out of 3 parts done once we eliminate the zombie. And we're going to do, and for the third and final part is we're going to hit the first one, hit the first reflective, come back up the steps, well, up this little tunnel, cave, and take the second one, take it away, and put it back where we put it at the first time. As you see, you got to try to find it. Boom. Once you do that, we're going to come back over here, and you see how it's pointing on the zombie. Then we're going to go to the crystal, and we're going to hit the crystal again. Boom. Once that energy travels, the zombie becomes alive, and boom, we got to take him out. This is the third and final elite zombie that we have to do for this part. And like I said, keep moving. The third and last one is a little bit more difficult. Not hard at all. It just has a little bit more HP to him. So it's a little bit, it takes a little bit more damage. And once we completed that, and that zombie has died, we're going to come back over here and collect the canister. We need that. Once we collect the canister, we're going to come back up to this room from the beginning, and we're going to craft it into our purple canister, which is we're going to do our third and final objective for the ray gun. And it's going to be the same way. You come to this computer where the elevator at, interact with it, and you got to kill a zombie in a certain amount of time. Please have some ammo. It's the same thing. You're going to wind up doing the same thing. These 3 tasks are the same way. And once you do that, you're going to jump into the portal, and you're going to see this red bottle. You collect this red bottle on the table, and we take it. It's blood. We need this blood. We're going to come back up here, and we're going to look for this cup. You see that cup right there, that glass? You're going to interact with it, and then you're going to have this zombie, which is the zombie that I hate the most, which is Disciple. You need to kill 3 disciples. And the next part, once you clear it out, we're going to come here. On the bench is another cup. You interact with the cup, another disciple spawns. We go ahead and take out this disciple as fast as possible, because I love this ray gun. I love the purple ray gun. And the third and final part to this part is you're going to go to the spawn and pawn that cup right there, and you got the last disciple, and you take him out. Same way we took out the last ones. And I used the kaboom and got it out the way. We're going to come back up here, and we're going to look for a code. You see that code right there? Each cup going to unlock a code on the wall. Every time you do 1 cup, 1 code will show. We come back up these steps again, and we go in this little room where you see the safe. You're going to put that code in from left to right. You have to do it from left to right. That's the order that it will be in. If you do it the other way, it will not work. So do it from left to right. And there we go. We have the safe unlocked. And you see this little piece that you need to pick up. Pick up that piece to go back in the purple room to start the third and final objective for the ray gun. And it's the same way as the other. It's like having myself on repeat. We're going to do the same thing. That you need to break the shield. If you have a teammates, they're going to just spam shooting. That's why I like the ASG-89 with the fire breath on, because once that shield is broken, you're delivering lethal damage. We're going to come back to the table, and we're going to collect that ornament. Now we're ready to start the final boss job. As you see, we come back down here where the Pack-a-Punch at, and we interact with that centerpiece, and now we're really ready to start the final boss job, or the final boss finale, the boss finale, however you want to put it. We ready, like we in there. So, just always remember, this cutscene happens. So if you want to, watch the cutscene or whatever, skip it, you can. But just know before you start the final boss job, please have all your guns maxed out. Try to get it on legendary. Try to get pack 3. Try to pack 3 the ray gun. You're gonna need it, and also have you a self revive. I love having self revive for the final boss, and also you can also get a chopper gunner. If you're not the level to unlock the chopper gunner at the craft table, have a teammate or someone to buy it and drop it for you. If you're not at that level yet, I forgot. I think the level is like 48. But if you can buy you a chopper gunner, please buy you a chopper gunner before you head into the final boss job. You really gonna need it. It's very essential. It's like an escape plan if things get bad. Now, once that has started, the final job started, you want to move around clockwise, and you want to stay moving. You cannot stay in the same spot on the final boss job, because you're going to have these toxic zombies that's going to have these little toxic circles, and they're going to eat your HP up. So just move in a counterclockwise or reverse counterclockwise, however you want to do it. Just keep moving your feet, and keep shooting at the weak points of the dinosaur. Like the eyes is a weak point. When he open up his mouth and spit out that toxic matter, you want to shoot at that too. And also his ribs is also a weak spot too. When it turns a certain color, you'll be able to see it on the dinosaur. Like I said, if you have somebody that has good guns, please tell them to bring it. Please tell them to use their best weapons for this, because we definitely gonna need it. I use a lot of stem shots for this, so if you have stem shots, please use stem shots, because I loaded up with 5 of them, and trust me, you're gonna be running around this map for a good amount of time. So it definitely does not end very quick. It definitely takes a good minute. And like I said, you want to just keep moving around. As you see that I'm gonna have a teammate in here that stay dropping, because it's kind of fairly difficult if you don't know what you're doing for the first time. So it may take a couple tries, but once you get that zombie jumping up to that cliff, you cannot shoot. It's nothing your bullet's gonna do. It's immune, and we're just gonna wait for it to jump back down, which is this part 1. It's 3 parts to this. It gets harder. It's like 3 phases. This is the first phase complete, when it jumps on top of the cliff, that's good for us. We want to, keep this going and try to get this done fast as possible. As you see, we only got 3 people. We had 4 people. It would have been a little bit quicker. We have one experienced person, so we had to keep picking them up. But again, keep moving around, and as you see, do not be close behind the dinosaur, because it will use its tail to hit you. You're not safe when you're close to that dinosaur. No one is safe at all, if you ask me. And just keep moving, keep shooting, have fun with this. Like, a lot of people, they get scared, they get tensed up, and that kind of causes people to not really fulfill the objectives and not complete it. Use Eat the Sprout. For me, I had Perkaholics, so I use my perks for the boss job, which is, if you have Perkaholics, use it for the final job if you drop. Because I promise you, like I just dropped just now, you're going to need it. You're going to need it. And I popped my Perkaholic, and I got all my perks back. And like I said, you want to really avoid this toxic matter, because that really takes a lot of HP out. And it gets very difficult as you continue to kill the zombie dinosaur. It gets very difficult. As you see, it got a little difficult here. So I popped my chopper gunner, and I'm trying to hit, like I said, I'm trying to hit the vulnerable spots, the weak points on the dinosaur with the chopper gunner. And you'll know that you're hitting the weak and the vulnerable spots when you start seeing the numbers turn yellow. That means you're getting bonus points or double the damage. Now, once we do that, actually, I got to pick my teammate up. She's kind of inexperienced, but it's okay. We can work with that. Like I said, I use a lot of stem shots, so I suggest you load up with some stem shots and a self-revive if you guys can. I have an amazing teammate in this that helped me complete this done. So if you have a very experienced teammate, please run with them because it's gonna make the final job way, way, way easier for you. And you kind of don't want to just sit here and let these zombies fill up. And if you have the Wonder Waffle, that's what I think it's called. It's called a Wonder Waffle, which is kind of like crowd control. You have one person with a Wonder Waffle. That's great because we'll be able to crowd control these zombies on the ground. That's very important. And again, the next phase, the zombie, he jumps up on top of that mountain again. And like I said, is you want to stay alive through all this. Um, it's not as pretty as you think it is. It's very cool, but it's not pretty at all. And we just gonna basically use Eat the Sprout as many times as we can. If we can use it, any type of perks we got, any type of upgrades, anything we got, we're gonna use. And you see my teammate is just like shredding this guy. He's shredding. Look at that. Like how? I want to know how he did that. Um, and with that, he shredded the zombie, and the dinosaur zombie is dead. And we gotta stay alive. You must stay alive at this part. It is not over. You must stay alive once you kill. And it's very difficult. It's gonna be very difficult. They're gonna be spawning. They're gonna be super fast. They're gonna come at you from left, right, behind you. It don't matter, man. They gonna shoot. You'll think they fall from the sky. But once you have stayed alive, you're gonna see that the fossils of the zombie is on the ground. And we like to stand over here and just shoot it up because it gave us a hard, hard time. And thank you guys for watching this video. Please like, subscribe for more content. And maybe next time we'll do another zombie video on how to complete another Easter egg. But this cutscene should pop up when you have completed this. And, you can just ride off to the sunset and feel accomplished. Like, hey, I did it because you did it. And for any more tips, please comment. If you need any more additional help or any additional pointers, please feel free to comment. We will reach out to you guys to try to stay interactive with you guys and try to give you guys the best content possible that I can give you guys. And that's the Golden Visionary way.